All right, now we go right to unfinished business, because we moved public comments 8 up to 7, so we will have another public comments after a couple of these here. Okay, discussion regarding allowing ATV, UTV on town roads. Really, I don't know if there's anything else to add, Todd, that's new from the last meeting?
No.
Nothing. We heard the chief say he didn't see any issues. This is gonna be an issue at the annual meeting where people will get to pipe in on it. And I'll let you know that probably, depending upon how that vote goes, we may even ask if they think it should be a referendum for a townwide issue. So unless anybody has anything to add to this, I think we're good to go on that. You have to do a,
I'll have a draft ordinance ready for next Tuesday.
all right.
Just a interesting observation in my neighborhood, I have seen more ATV activity on the road since this topic came up.
You do know that farmers do have an
It's not
exemption.
farmers.
That's right. Because they-
It's kids going up and down. Probably, I don't know for sure how many they are, but going at a pretty high speed.
Todd, do we have a confirmation of anybody willing to pay for the signage so that that's not an expense the town must
I
incur?
approached, Healy Paint Shop, they are all in favor of doing some kind of fundraiser for it, if need be. A couple other private citizens have voiced their opinion that they'd help try and raise money also.
Okay. I would just like this not to be a
we
town
have-
expense.
Second public comment.
Did we estimate, do we know how many signs and how much?
Yeah, it'd probably be right around $3,800 for all the signs.
Thank you for keeping that top of mind.
Yeah, in most municipalities that do this, the local clubs do indeed do that, they pay for it, so
Yeah.
it's one less issue to take away from, you know.
I reached out to a gentleman that did it for Jefferson County, and they're even willing to help if need be.
Really?
Yeah. Cause the town of Palmyra just did a referendum and passed it on last Tuesday.
Right, anything else on that? Okay, again, that'll be on the annual meeting agenda. Okay, Sherwood Drive maintenance, we have to authorize Jim to draft a resolution, and the reason we wanna draft a resolution is to show that indeed this board took action to approve it, okay? If it doesn't get approved, well, then there's not a resolution, but, looking, when I was doing all the research on all the road records, from way back, one of the things that I seen quite often on that, were this exact issue, okay, this exact thing. But the law changed since then, actually it changed probably twice since then, because ones I was looking at were in the 50s through 80s, and I think you said there was a recent change on it.
There was. The town couldn't even consider approving this unless they had statutory authority. And there was a statute that would allow it, based on cost projections and how much it would be for parcel.
All right. Okay, so we need a motion to authorize.
I move that we authorize Attorney Mills to draft the resolution so that Sherwood Drive maintenance administration can be done by the town.
I'll second.
All right, motion second, any discussion?
Just another discussion, and mean no offense to anybody, I want everyone to help everybody, you know, I'm getting a lot of heat, but, so is this basically gonna be something, as long as the numbers add up, every private road in the town, we're setting precedents again? So to speak, if it falls underneath this calculation, so all these private roads in the town, if they need help when we're telling them we're not gonna plow, is this what we're doing? You know, I mean, is that?
But some of the private roads we charge for plowing.
Well,
So-
all private roads.
All
How
of them we
is-
charge for plowing, but we won't
So
plow
how
it
is
if it
that
goes.
different?
If it goes, yeah.
Well, I'm saying if the money can't be paid up front by anybody, and it's a lot of money, I understand all of that, but is this now gonna be?
Well, there's different considerations. You have to consider the number of homes on this road, access for emergency vehicles.
Mhm.
So again, it'll set a precedent in the fact that this is the first time the town relied on this statute to move forward with a road project like this.
And that's why in the past, I know there was talk like, what's it, Parkway,
Kings Parkway.
Kings Parkway and stuff, that, they did
Well,
all
that-
that on
But the
their own,
statute
but
didn't exist.
that was a different time, and that's
Yeah.
why that wasn't.
And that was 12 people on that one, John? Kings Parkway, how many people actually use that road?
Probably about 30.
That was about
30?
30, it was quite a few people.
Okay, yeah, I can't see it.
That's just my question, I'm not against it, I just want to know if it's
Yeah.
just gonna be the standard, you know, so to speak.
Yeah.
Just, it's a lot, you know,
Yeah,
we have a lot of private roads in our community.
Yeah, it's 57, and when
I
you
was
have
gonna
a
say,
handful.
how many private roads do we have?
Too many.
We have quite a few, I mean, a lot of them, they're not very
Yeah, oh, I
long,
know.
and there isn't, some of them that don't have any houses on them. So when this goes through, it could, like Chad said, it could set precedents that, say, some of these private roads only have 5 houses on it, and they wanna do it. It's gonna cost them 5 houses an arm and a leg, cause they're not splitting them up between, like,
Sure.
Sherwood 57.
That, and that's what it was, one of my questions of how, or, you know, the qualification is how many homes are on each road.
Yeah, we had a couple. of
It's
them.
just, I have to ask, it's part
We
of my
don't
job.
get, dollars to redo those roads from the state.
No, no.
So
100%.
what action would a private road need to take in order for us to accept it as a town road so that we actually got trip money to do the thing?
Well, you're gonna see one of those issues a little later here, but, first of all, the road itself has to meet town road standards. And a lot of them,
Aren't wide enough.
they're not wide enough, either the right way nor the pavement. If we take over our road and do the Weber Road, that one, you know, it's not, doesn't meet town standards, but the new paving job we're gonna do this year will bring it to standards. It'll make up our smooth, wider. So there's that issue, and then, like the one we're gonna talk later, where the state will fight it a little bit, say, well, you only have a 30-foot right of way. Well, we didn't make it a town road, the judge did, okay, we didn't do that, that's gonna be my excuse, and, how we're gonna make that happen, so, yeah, there's quite a few, but it's not unusual with lakes that there's a lot of private roads, that is pretty, common.
A lot of people try to make their road private. They want to.
Well, I don't know why they do that, but.
You know, I mean, but I'm just saying,
There are some,
it's just a question I have to ask because we have a lot of them and, you know, putting forth our credit, right? I mean, that's basically what it is.
Chairman, I'd like you to recognize Jean, she has a question about this.
So the estimate was 83 and change. So 84,000 divided 57 households is 1474, rounding numbers. So $1,474 outlay by each household. If somebody doesn't pay their taxes and they don't pay that assessment, we have, as a township, have to make county whole. How then is that going to be the main whole? How then is
County does.
that going to be addressed, will that be addressed in the resolution of how then the property owner association or whatever the group is called?
They don't have one of those.
Right, how are they
okay,
going to
there's
then?
two things, one of them, if they're delinquent on their taxes, they lose their house, so that really shouldn't be an issue, because then the county owns the house, and then we get the money.
Well, we still
Our
have to
issue
make our-
is if
Like
we
10
don't
years.
collect enough money to make the payment that's due,
Okay,
then
How do we get that money?
We have to cover that, because otherwise our credit starts, right? You know, all of that is plays a factor, so that's why I say there's so many roads and stuff.
sounds like Bob did a little research on this, maybe? You wanna-
I've already talked to a bank, my proposal on that would be to do a 6-year note or a 7-year note and do a 5-year amortization to the homeowners. That way you would be collecting an additional amount every period. If someone did default on their taxes, you would be able to use that additional amount that you collected. And the note, assuming everyone paid their taxes, would be paid 2 years in advance or a year early. And there's only one person on our road that I'm aware of that is delinquent.
and he has issues.
Nice plan though.
I-
Thank
Yeah,
you.
right.
That, there's agreement, and we would work out those details, I'm just asking you guys if you'll administrate.
Okay, all right, there's no further questions, we can, wait a minute, we have a motion in a second. There
Yep,
wasn't
that
any more
was
discussion, no more discussion, okay, on the motion, all in favor, say aye.
I
Opposed? None. Okay, motion carries. Okay, police garage discussion, we put